Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Before we even got the show started, I think you were listening to, was it drink recipes?
Yeah, it's Gwen Stefani's.
Yeah, okay. And I know that's coming up in the 9 o'clock paparazzi, right? So
Right.
what Gwen makes and that she's found, which sounds delicious for the holidays.
Just sounds so light. That's the appeal for me. I love bubbles. I like to burp. I love just like lighter, not like, I had a friend that's like, oh yeah, you got to try this Bailey's and eggnog. I'm like, oh, that would just
heavy.
Yeah, sound like a rock in my tummy.
As far as like, and we'll search that out, that recipe, but think about this year. Have you searched recipes that you found? Is there anything that you found throughout the year of 2022 when we look back on it that you're happy that you made or tried?
Yeah, I learned how to make a gluten-free turkey and gluten-free mac and cheese. I'm doing it for my sister-in-law, who is gluten-free.
Well, that's great.
So,
I mean, you're doing it for somebody else.
Yeah.
Do you remember having to search long and hard on the internet for these recipes, or were they pretty readily available?
I typed in GL.
And it just came up, right?
It popped up. So a lot of people live in that life.
I'm trying to think of any. I searched out a couple of Traeger recipes as far as like chicken breast go, because like sometimes I like to just make a 20-pound bag of chicken.
Yeah.
And then freeze some, refrigerate some, and you got pretty quick meals. But I was looking over the top recipes that we've Googled as a world this year.
Yeah. Give me the top like 3.
Well, Marry Me Chicken is on that. Do you remember here? Google that real quick.
I have heard about that because I think it was on Rachel Ray, and it's like how to snag that guy. If you make him this chicken, he will instantly start looking for rings.
How many more different ways can we make chicken? I feel like I've tried everything.
No, like men all over tried it, and they were like, yup, that'll do it. Oh, yeah.
You just told by the picture?
I'll marry somebody right now if they made me marry me chicken. Look at this thing. You're telling me you wouldn't fall in love with that? Oh, my God.
That looks pretty good.
Are you okay?
All right. So you might want to Google that yet.
Okay.
Number 2 was Cincinnati chili.
Okay.
And I don't know what that is and what makes Cincinnati chili so great, but I'd never Googled Cincinnati chili this year.
It has spaghetti in it. It's basically spaghetti with a mound of cheese on top. So
I can't call it chili
trickery.
then.
And raw onions.
Does it have like the chili sauce and the beans and stuff then?
Yeah,
too?
that must be the sauce. So it's the spaghetti noodles and then the chili sauce and then a whole bag of cheddar cheese shredded and then raw onions.
So think about that. When you make chili, do you make it in the crock pot usually? Because we do.
Chili? No, I open the can and then I put it in Tupperware and then I microwave it.
We make a crock pot full of it, but I'm thinking if you threw a whole bunch of spaghetti noodles in there, that would be different.
I don't think it would be horrible.
And then the number one thing we Googled as far as things that we want to make as far as recipes go.
Yeah.
Sugo.
What's sugo?
Sugo is an Italian red sauce. Sugo. It's an Italian red sauce.
Oh,
I'm trying to
red sauce.
I mean, I've never made sauce. It's always just come right out of the Prego jar.
Sugo de pomodoro. That doesn't look too bad, but it looks just like a
Could you not get this out of a jar?
Soup. Yeah.
Huh.
I like to think smarter, not harder. Some people are like, I'm going to put on my music and I'm going to get cooking. I get so zenned out. It's like that stresses me out.
When Trish got diagnosed, at first we had friends that would bring us giant meals, and especially our friend Lori, and she would bring us like a full meal. And I would be like, oh my gosh, like I have 2 kids away at college. And when Trish is in the hospital for a week, it's just Nolan and I at home. It would last us an entire week.
Right.
And she's like, I just like it. I really find it therapeutic.
And we need people like that. I enjoy people.
Because I don't think it's a generation lost.
Yeah.
I think the boomers had a lot of moms that stayed at home and became very, very good cooks. Mm-hmm. And then it was fewer and fewer. And now almost every family has 2 people working. So that whole, like, you're rushed to get a meal on the table. You don't get to start preparing it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I know.
And then plan it at 6.
I really do enjoy the pre-made meals like at Costco, but I could not believe the prices for a mac and cheese dish. It was like almost $40.
No way.
Yeah. For the Korean barbecue, it was $39 for like a little pile of noodles and some meat and veggies. I'm like, heck no.
Well, you're buying convenience. You're buying speed, you're buying convenience.
I know.
But those are the big ones we've been Googling. So if you're on board with those and you know what's going on, then you're way ahead of us.
Let's begin now.
Let's go. The big show, Thirsty Thursday. Feeling those weekend vibes already. How we living, Kat?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did you have a good day yesterday? What'd you do?
Yeah, I did. I did some errands, and then I went home and I got in an hour nap.
Wow.
And then I went and got Liam, did some stuff around the house, did a lot of cleaning, and then I had a baseball board meeting.
Same.
Did you?
Well, I just
Were
made
you
it
at
like
mine?
a booster one. No, it was very odd because we were already starting to talk about all the intricate things that we need to do for the spring baseball season.
Yeah.
And then summer as well. And it's like, geez, that's good to be thinking that far ahead.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to be out there already.
I just got some good news because it was like last summer we had 6 tournaments that I had to do concessions for, like make sure it was packed with stuff that they needed. This time we only have 2 this summer. I mean,
Life got a little easier.
Oh my God. I have like only 2 weekends in June, and then the rest of the summer, it seemed like I didn't have a summer, which, listen, I took the position. I knew kind of what I was getting into, and then had a big steak and shrimp salad there. So that was incredible. And went home and went to bed. And that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
You're living the suburban life.
Crazy life.
Today, huge day for you. Psychic Kim is going to be on the show.
Yes.
I have got a body trick that I guarantee you don't know about.
A body? What do you mean?
A body trick. I have a trick you can do with your body that will shock all of your friends and family this holiday season.
Is it going to make my life better? Like, does it feel
Better.
good? Okay.
Absolutely 100% better. You've never heard about it. And I guarantee that people are going to look at you a different way once you do this.
Nobody's ever heard about it. You invented this. You figured it out yourself.
I think I brought it to our continent. Morning, Miss Sam. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. What's your question for Psychic Kim?
I'm wondering if I'm doing the right thing by kind of ending the marriage.
Okay.
Okay, so Kim, she's ending the marriage, right or wrong thing?
Ew. There's okay. There's a saying that's called "the grass isn't always greener on the other side." Okay, that comes up in my head. I feel like there are some internal things within yourself that either some self-judging, some internal self-worthiness that you're not, that you're trying to tackle. Not that you're trying to run away from it, but this is a time for you to literally find out why you're unhappy with yourself. The marriage itself, they show me ring off, falling off, like that was going to happen. They said that was inevitable, but don't always assume that the grass is going to be greener on the other side. There's still some work that needs to be done within yourself. So.
Okay.
You probably knew you were doing the right thing, though, when I'm sure you gave it enough thought where you were like, yep, I'm going to need this for happiness.
Yeah, I feel bad for giving up on the individual,
Yeah.
addictions.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
I don't know. It's
Well,
still your life.
Life's too short. I know you want to do the right thing, and you're probably a pretty nice human being, but sometimes, what do they say? A leopard won't change its spots.
But they can. They can. It's just addiction. I shouldn't say it's just addiction, but who knows? What if they change their life around and people that are meant to be together will be together?
Yep.
So you
Right.
make yourself right. So hopefully they make themselves right and everyone can live in harmony.
Yeah, I hope this got some clarity for you. I hope you have a really good morning and a happy holiday season, Miss Sam.
Thanks, you too.
Take care. Hello, Ms. Maddie. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Great. Thanks for asking. You got Psychic Kim. What would you like to ask her this morning?
Does my mom have any messages for me?
Does your mom have any, messages for you? Is that what you just asked?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm assuming mom's passed.
Yes.
Yeah, and right away Kim started giggling. What's this about?
In my first image that I was brought to was a big old boot and kicking somebody in the butt, and then I see big girl panties being pulled up. So normally that means somebody's trying to tell you to get your butt going, put on your big girl panties, and actually make that final decision that you're supposed to make a long time ago. You're dragging your feet in the mud. You have a lot of power. You have a lot of strength. You're holding yourself back. And I hear knock it off. But then also, they see all these little images of love, and I could just feel like, a lot of love in my heart. So that's normally somebody's trying to say, I love you. There's a blue. I get pulled to a ring, but then I got shoved away from the ring instantly. I get pulled to something blue that's like a jewelry or some jewel type piece that's blue. And I feel like I want to bring that close to my heart and just hold on to it. So whatever that means to you, she's acknowledging that.
Yeah, that definitely means something.
Oh, is this what you were hoping for?
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad you could. I'm glad you could help get some love this holiday season. Have a great day, Maddie.
Absolutely.
People are jacked to talk to you real quick, and they're being very, very patient. Like Summer over here. Hi, Summer. How are you?
Hi, I am all right. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for asking. Have you ever waited so long for something?
Yeah, I've been waiting to ask this question or to know the answer to this question for a really long time.
Well, excited to get you on the show. Thanks for your patience. I'm happy to have you on with Psychic Kim. What would you like to ask her?
So my sister died in February, and I just want to know if she's okay.
Okay. Kim?
Like, for some reason, I feel like all I see is darkness, and I don't know. I don't know if she's okay, and that's sad. I don't know if she's okay.
Yes. I get, well, for one, the darkness is a lot of your own stuff, or your own, not fear, but almost sorrow, grieving process that you're going through. So don't assume that she's not okay based off of that. The other thing, I got shown a teddy bear. Normally when I see a teddy bear, that's normally somebody who is very playful. She shows me very energetically, like childlike energy, and a really good childlike energy, just fun. And I see like whimsical things in the background, so I know that she's just having a really good time with that one's another hard one, with a lot of angels over there. And then I see a little teddy bear and like squeezing it. Like if you're a little child and you're just like so happy to get this teddy bear and you're just holding on so tight to that teddy bear and knowing that you're safe. Teddy bears, you know, a lot of safety. And then I see a little heart-shaped image on the teddy bear. So she's showing me like, I get it. She's feeling a lot of love from everybody on this side. This is the teddy bear representing the people over here. Oh, I never heard it that way before. With a little heart on it. So she's showing me like she's holding on to that dearly. She doesn't want to let that go yet. So it means she's still holding on to a lot of people down here. But then she shows me a lot of like fairies and angels that she's hanging out with. A lot of playful energy. So this tells me she's not sitting in a dark state. She's not in doom and gloom, nothing like that. She's very happy, but she's holding on to you guys very dear to her heart.
Oh my gosh, well.
That's amazing.
She had 7 kids, so.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Summer, hang in there. We know the holidays will be tough, but just know that, she's found some happiness.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Have a good holiday season. That has to be tough, huh?
Yeah.
When you were kind of going through that, and I know we kind of got you were just kind of talking through like new imagery as it was happening to you.
Yep.
Does that happen often, or do you see a lot of the same things come through?
No, they bring it through in a way that I will start to understand, and then they'll shift it up and change it. And as I'm talking through, then I hear different messages in my head and like, no, you're wrong, Kim. It's not that way. Look at it differently, a different perception. So I have multiple conversations going in my head at the same time to help guide through. So when I talk out loud, that helps me to get it out instead of staying it stuck in the head.
When you're on, it's almost like a roller coaster of emotions. You never know what call is going to be a good one. You got a new job coming your way or something like what we just heard.
It's fun to watch on this end, and I kind of peek over the monitor. I see Kat's eyes get really, really big, and then I see her look down, and then I see her take a deep breath. How's Cindy doing this morning?
Really good. How are you all today?
Good.
Ooh,
Thank
there we
you.
go.
I love your energy. What would you like to know? What's your question for Psychic Kim?
All right, got a big one, okay?
Yeah.
On Monday, I have a lecture final, and I want to know if I'm going to pass that bad boy.
I love it. I love it. Everybody's doing finals right now. So, is she going to get through it?
Yeah. It's not going to be the grades that you want, I'll tell you that, but you pass. So
hey, D's get degrees.
Woo-hoo!
What do you call a doctor that got all D's? A doctor.
Right.
So there you go.
Where do you go to school, Cindy?
I go to Rasmussen in Lake Elmo.
All right, and how much do you have left?
I have a year left.
All right, well, get through this, get a little holiday break in, and then cram down on that last year, I guess, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a fabulous day.
You too. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
I like her a lot. I got time for one more call real quick. Hi, Crystal. How are you today?
I am doing good. How are you?
Great. Thank you for asking. Got Psychic Kim. What would you like to know? What's your question?
Well, I'm sure I'm not the only one in 2022 who struggled financially. I'm just wondering if 2023 has any positive outlook on that for me.
Not in the way that you had hoped, okay? This is for a lot of people. I'm just going to put a generalizing. Pay attention to where you put your energy, where you put your perceptions on money. So if you think of it as all materialistic, you're going to struggle. But if you look at money as just wealth and internal wealth, love is very worthy. And you got to look at your perception of what your view of money is, for one, okay? You change your perception of money. They said it's going to come back in abundance, not your physical, tangible, the green stuff in the hand, but in other you'll shift your way that you're making money, if that makes sense. Trying to figure out how they're putting this. But you're going to do fine. They show me putting away money, not doing anything above and beyond extra. I feel like there's going to be little things keep coming up, like they show me car breaking down. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to save some money, and then I have to put money on my credit card. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't want that. So I see little things like this, but nothing that's unbearable. I feel like I see you breathing through, so that means you're handling it, you're coping through it very well. But I said, change the perception of money in your life.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense, Crystal? I mean, is that, kind of aligning with some of what you were hoping for in 23?
Yeah, I'm just getting into a new apartment, so I'm just kind of getting back onto my own feet. So that's really helpful.
Well, hang in there. Always a better day tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah.
Appreciate you. Have a great morning.
You too. Thank you.
Take care. Hey, Kim, when we get done with all of this, do you have to take a nap? Are you tired?
No, this energizes me.
Really? Half of us wait till our partner leaves the house before we do this.
Angela, that was a very unique way to text in.
People saying picking their nose, eating junk food.
That they shouldn't.
None of this. None of the people that were even super. And the amount of ways that people phrase.
Yes. Yeah.
Happying themselves. Oh, Catherine says weighing themselves not right. You want to take one more guess before I tell everybody what it is?
Myself the other day, and then I don't know where Derek came from. Out of the depths
He's just
of
standing
darkness.
right there.
I hop off real quick, and then I cover the number with my foot, and I was like, "What are you even doing in here?" It's my house. I live here. It was not fun.
One last guess.
These would all be my guesses. Would it be Snoop for gifts? All right.
Change the thermostat. We wait for our partner to leave the house before we change the thermostat to be more comfortable.
We're set at 67, and it's been working for us. So some people say a solid 71 all
That's
year
where
round.
my wife likes it when she's working from home.
Oh, my God. 67's been working. So hopefully keeping our heating bill down, that would be lovely.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Couldn't get it. 50% of us, half of us, though, don't want to. And what's weird is I can control mine via my phone.
Yeah.
So I always know what it's at. And if she decides to sneak it up a little bit, we have a fireplace in our living room, though, and it's too close to our thermostat. Mm-hmm. So when the fireplace kind of warms up just that little area, all of a sudden our thermostat will just not run for a long time.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the house gets cold.
I don't know about you, but I grew up with a woman that was very obsessive and possessive of the temperature gauge, and she would have Post-it notes all over. And you know how you'd make sure your sister or brother didn't go in your room, so you'd put a little piece of tape up high.
Sure, just to see
and then if it were broken,
yeah.
then you'd break something else. So
the only thing I care about is the garage. Like, I mean, we still use it for our batting cage and stuff like that, but I don't want that over like 55 during the winter.
Pish posh.
Because here's the problem. I got idiot kids that leave that garage door open when it's 14 below.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it'll be 3 hours later, and our whole neighborhood, all the snow is melted in everyone's houses and front yards.
Yeah.
Because my garage thing has been forever.
We're not hating outside.
Well,
now, this is hardly a sexually based offense. This is actually a class action lawsuit making the headlines today. And this couple from California, they have filed a lawsuit against Crocs because, and I've never heard of this because, and I should have, my mom has a gazillion
one of the
pair
biggest
of
advocates.
Crocs, but evidently they shrink when exposed to heat and water, which I feel like those are the only times that you wear those. I've never heard of a Croc doing this, so I wonder if it's them. Like the lawsuits that are brought forth.
But it's
lately,
class action. They have to have a bunch of people behind them now.
I guess. Yeah. So is someone trying to video FaceTime with you? Who is it?
I don't know.
It's so easy to find out if you're working. You know what I mean? Like my mom will text me, hey, are you at work today? It's very easy to find that out. Anyway, so I want to know if you could pick anything that is so minuscule to bring forth to go as far as to like hire a lawyer to bring on
to start a class action lawsuit.
Well, maybe not a class action, but you're just ready to sue. It's like the people that are handed the cup of coffee at McDonald's and they sip it.
Sure.
Just like chug it. And then they're like, oh my God, my throat is burning. I'm going to sue McDonald's. It's crazy.
I got a good one. It's going to make a lot of people angry, but I got a good one. And when I start this lawsuit, it will be the end of, unfortunately, a lot of people's careers.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not looking to make anyone jobless, but when this lawsuit finally gets put through, the hammer comes down. There'll be tens of thousands of people celebrating with me in the streets.
Okay.
But there
yours is actually going to help people. I don't know if this is going to help.
Mine will actually help people, but it'll also take away jobs because some people are really horrible at their job.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you're horrible at your job, this will affect you.
I would say all three of my lawsuits will get people fired.
All right. I want to get to ours. I want to get to yours as well.
There's a couple of women not happy with their Crocs situation. And so they have brought forth a class action lawsuit against the company because they say that the shoes, after being exposed to heat and water, shrink.
So do I.
So the water shoes and the water sandals that are supposed to be water friendly, they are not. And that's what they're advertising. So false advertisement is basically what the lawsuit is all about. But I wanted to know because so many people are so quick to bring forth a lawsuit. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you're like, really? You're going to spend that much money on a lawyer just to see if you win for something so trivial? What would be yours?
To the snowplow drivers that leave a giant ridge on my driveway right at the end there. And my wife and her high-end needs with having low-profile tires on the Cadillac she has to drive.
Yeah.
It does damage. Therefore, I'm coming for you. There has to be a better way.
Damage to property, that's a big one. That'll go far in a court.
There has to be a better way to plow out my neighborhood than to leave a giant pile of snow at the end of my driveway. There has to be a better way. We've been doing this for years. Now, again, I've never met a snowplow driver I didn't like, and I know many of these people that are serving our cities and our counties are listening to our show. I'm not looking to take away your job. I'm looking for somebody to do an investigation to get it somehow better so that there's not a giant ridge of snow at the end of my driveway when you come through 3 days after it snows.
Sure, you're not the only one that's griped about it.
So that's what I'm suing. I'm going to sue, and then we'll find you other jobs, better jobs, in warm jobs.
Okay. Hit my lawsuit bed. I would sue everybody that has cut my hair with the photo in front of them and still unable to get me this haircut right here. This is all I want. That's all I want. It's beautiful. The texture
That's what
I
you're
love.
supposed to look like?
And then I'll have that face
what
too.
A fail.
It is like that haircut is my dream and not one hairstylist
Why
out there.
can't they do it?
They can't. They say, sure. Oh, awesome. Thanks for the photo.
So you bring in a picture of Kim Kardashian, you walk out looking like that.
Yes. I look like Carla Kardashian from the basement. It's not fair.
You should be suing somebody for that.
I'm suing for too much ice in my drink, even though I say light ice, because that's a lot of money you spend on specialty drinks. And finally, I'm going to sue my garbage can guy who can never just set it down. Like, it's always 6 feet up and then boop, opens the little clamp, and then it falls on its side. The top is going to come off, and then my top's going to come off of my head because I'll be angry, not my actual top. But those are the 3 things. Trivial, yet ruin my life. Okay.
I'm excited to get these things rolling.
What's trending? What's trending?
If you don't follow Courtney Cox on social media, you have to. She's actually very, very funny.
She's an American treasure.
It's so dry that you wonder if she's being serious or not, but she's definitely not in this latest video. She went and did a tutorial on how to eat pizza in New York.
A lot of people that are not from New York come into the city and they can't wait to have New York style pizza, and they don't know how to eat it. Only like people who come to a lot of pizza joints know that this is another way they sell it, but it's not on the menu. It's what it's special.
What is it?
So super tongue in cheek. No, she's lying. She's just like lying about everything. She's like, people in New York, we roll up our pizza, and then people that are sitting at the table next to her, they're like, we don't. They're just eating their pizza. So she's being super serious about it, but eating her food weird nonetheless. So is there something that you eat that normally you just do it when you're by yourself because it's so weird to watch? I'll start with mine.
Okay.
Give me a second. When I eat grilled cheese, I have to peel off the top crispy layer of the bread because it's so buttery and crispy. So I'll do that. And I do the same thing with my quesadillas. And then, of course, my skin cigar, which I'm famous for now.
It's chicken if
People
you're just
do it
hearing this for the
everywhere
first
now.
time and you hear the word skin cigar.
Yeah.
For me,
Don't Google it.
I can't tell. I can't eat French fries one by one. I have to pair them and they have to be the same length.
Really?
Yeah. Like if I get a bunch of fries,
That's annoying.
Like my wife and I went to lunch the other day at 7 West and they bring out, I had fries with my burger.
Yeah.
And I have to sometimes leave one because if they're not 2 at a time and they're not the same length.
I think you have
It
problems.
plays in my OCD a little bit, but that's
So now
that's the
thinking
weirdest
about
thing.
it, I have to do one, and I dip, and then I eat it.
Such a-
one at a time. Make it last a little longer. So do you eat your food in a weird way? Because Courtney does, and that is what's trending.
Good morning. It's Kat and JJ. Are you ready for the big experiment?
I just find it really hard to believe that nobody has ever done this, heard of this. You're not like
I brought it to the new world.
Individual thinker. Okay,
I
all right.
brought it here.
Let's do it.
When my ancestors immigrated to America, this is the one thing we brought.
Okay.
Was this experiment. It's been in my family for hundreds of years, dating back to the old world.
Okay.
And I don't think anyone's ever done it. So I'd like you to experience this because it brings joy to my family.
I will not lick my elbow again or try to bite my ear.
All you have to do, I need put both hands up, show both hands to the camera.
Okay.
All you have to do is take your right hand and your pointer finger. Put your left hand down.
Okay.
Right hand, pointer finger.
Got it.
Take it, turn it sideways. Put it right on your chin.
I'm not doing this.
Put it right on your chin.
Okay.
Now, if you rub your chin back and forth for 10 seconds
Yeah.
and smell your finger, it'll smell like butter.
You have to
Do it.
stop. This
Do
is
it.
crazy.
1, 2, 3,
Oh, I can hear
4,
you stumble.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Smells like butter. It smells like butter. I knew it.
What do you?
It smells like butter.
I have such a clogged nose.
It smells
Here,
like butter.
smell my finger.
I won't do that again. Do it one more time. Rub your chin for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3,
Why does it smell like
4,
butter?
5, 6,
No
7,
idea.
8, 9, 10. It smells like butter.
You
Smells
might
like
be
butter.
right.
I knew it.
You might be right.
My family brought this to the new world. It's the only thing we have from our great grandparents.
They brought the Butterfingers?
They brought Butterfinger.
Why am I still smelling it? It's like when you stick your finger in your belly button. Don't do that, by the way. Do not stick your finger in your belly button.
What does yours smell like? I don't have a smell.
You just lied.
It doesn't have a smell.
Yours totally smells.
Actually, it smells like my shower gel.
Shower gel and rotten shower gel?
No, it smells like Dove for men.
If you're in your car right now, dig in your belly button and smell it.
Do the finger thing.
You'll pass out.
Do the butter thing. And then let us know whether or not you're still smelling your finger.
I am.
It
Why?
smells like butter.
I look like a lunatic.
Joined by Katie this morning, who had hit us up a little earlier with a message saying, my husband and I are kind of in a disagreement, hoping you guys might be able to help us find some common ground here. And we know this has to do with your daughter, who is how old?
She is 10.
Okay, and what's going on?
Well, she's got this great friend who she really loves, which I'm thrilled about because she's had a little trouble making friends. You know, it's kind of hard
it's tough at that
when
age.
you're younger. But her friend's parents smoke in the house.
Ooh.
Okay, it's their house.
Yeah.
But I've been avoiding letting her stay overnight. Actually, my husband is the one who really is most concerned about it. But now that she's 10, she's kind of too old for me to say, like, she's too young to spend the night. And I'm running out of excuses, basically.
Yeah.
So my husband makes a good point, which is we'd have to wash everything after she comes back because it's all going to smell like smoke and she's breathing it in. And I think that's true, but it's also one night and it's her friend who she loves. So I'm not sure what to do. Am I, like, making too big of a deal of this? Should I just let her go?
I think, obviously, I'm hypersensitive because my kid has asthma. I mean, it would just be a horrible situation for him. That's what I would just say. It's not good for your body. I truly would have a problem with it. You know, even if they come back smelling like smoke, what if they go to a bonfire all night at a house that doesn't have smoke inside? They're still going to smell that way. It's not the smell for me. It's what's going in her body all night, you know?
I mean, that's a good point. But if we go camping and she's sitting by the fire all night, she's breathing in, it's a different kind of smoke for sure. But
I would be interested to see what the health repercussions are of being in that house for 24 hours. Because I get where you're coming from. Like, if your daughter's having a tough time making friends and she makes this really good friend, you don't want to do anything and get in the way. But I get, health is most important too. So I can guarantee that somebody else has been through this. Let us turn it over real quick. If you want to turn up your radio, we'll see what everybody thinks, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
Talked to Katie a couple of seconds ago. Here's her dilemma. She has a 10-year-old daughter, a little bit tough to make friends at that age, and she finally found this friend that she really loves. Like, she's got a best friend now, and the best friend says, come on over, stay at my house this weekend.
Yeah.
And they find out that the daughter friend's mom and dad smoke in the house.
Right. So her thing is she doesn't have as big of a problem with it as her husband. He's like, absolutely not. She's not going to be in that environment all night, overnight. I think we all know how we felt when casinos still allowed you to smoke. Do you remember staying overnight? And some still do. But like, you'd wake up with the sharp boogers and the breathing was a little labored. That is what she's going to go through. Why put your child's body through that? She's like, I really don't see a problem with it being just an overnight. But I would. I definitely would.
Here's the deal. The older I get, the more I realize how absolutely remarkable the human body is. I don't believe you're going to suffer some long-term health problems because of staying overnight in a smoker's house one night.
Yeah.
But then again, I also don't want to give the impression that, that's okay or that's what you want to surround yourself with. Skylar, what would you do here, man?
Well, the potential there, it's a foreign substance. That's basically the biggest thing that you have to worry about, that she hasn't been exposed to this stuff before.
Yeah.
So her coming in new to an environment where that's already there, because, secondhand smoke is, can be just as bad as smoking itself.
Sure.
I mean, it carries so many different chemicals. But I think the biggest thing is that it's a new, it's something new to her body. So you might just want to have her spend a day to see if it's okay, if they really want to proceed with it. But the biggest thing is that it's a foreign substance and you don't know how she's going to react, especially in an overnight situation.
Well, I wouldn't want to do this trial and error. You got to think of these kids at this age, at 10 years old, have never had to deal with what we did, going to a buffet and people smoking in the booth right next to you.
Which is good.
It's great. I love that. But, I mean, why even toy with, like, an experiment?
There's some shock factor there, yeah. So you're going to say no to this.
I kind of understand that too, but I'm kind of one of the ones that used to allow my kids to play in dirt, and they never got sick. So the more that we, shelter kids away from some of those things, the more likely it'll affect them down the road.
All right, good stuff, man. I'm glad you chimed in. I hope you have a really good day today.
Most definitely. Y'all have a beautiful day.
Take care.
Bye. Sarah says, I'm not sure why people still smoke inside, but I would definitely not be okay with my child staying there. Just explain to your daughter the facts and then suggest that they stay at your house. Her friend never has to know that her house is off-putting. I think that wouldn't be a nice thing to say to this girl because it's out of her control. They're 10, and she definitely should not tell friends about it. I always talk to Liam about that. You don't want to be the one that it's traced back to. So I would say no. Sorry, bud.
I still don't think I would say no. I think I'd just be okay. Go ahead.
All right. The top 3 changes that people would like to make this Christmas. They have a list. The top 3 go. Number 3, go abroad for Christmas. I wonder why we're shamed so much. Like, I would love to go and spend Christmas in Paris.
Why is that shameful?
Because maybe it is in my head, but like I would feel bad not being with my full family.
You're putting that on yourself. I don't feel any problems with that.
I went to the Dominican one year, a day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Or were we there?
I'm leaving for Christmas. I won't be here.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to Colorado.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, but you're going with your whole family.
Yeah, well,
your sister-in-law's going?
Yeah. But I won't feel bad about doing what I want with my family.
I know. I wonder why, though, a lot of people just don't, and then they make plans around it. Number 2, get new decorations. I've been wanting to do that, but I just can never find it in my body to spend that money. And number 1, watch more Christmas movies. I suggest you do it once a night.
I did yesterday for a while.
You did? Which one?
Yeah, Better Off Dead.
Better Off Dead?
Yeah.
Is a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Is it like Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
No, better. There's a lot more Christmas stuff in there.
Oh.
Johnny, $2. I want my $2.
I was going to say Gremlins is a Christmas movie if you want to watch Gremlins. But yeah, watch a new Christmas movie every single day. What a fun way to curl up with the kids on the couch. All right, Herbert and June Malacote, they have been married for 80 years. All right. And this is like straight out of the Notebook. Both of them died within hours of each other.
I'm 100 years old.
I can't believe it.
We've had a wonderful life.
We haven't had one quarrel.
One thing you never want to hurt the one you love. It's a love affair. Now it's a love affair beyond.
So did I read this right? That she got sick. They moved her to hospice. He got so heartbroken that he literally shut down. And within hours of each other, they passed away.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Oh, I have a lump in my throat. That is it. A broken heart is the real deal, man.
As we are full blown into the holiday season, this happened to us on just the other day. We don't get our mail every day. Do you get your mail every day?
I do. Right in front of my house.
We've got to go down to the end of our block, and then there's a communal mail drop-off area.
Our first house, we had it in front of our house, and then the HOA is like, no, we're going to build one of those towers, and they did, and I don't think I got my mail more than once a week.
I like the tower because it's better for curb appeal, I think. I don't like having a mailbox on my curb.
Okay.
Regardless, you know what I got in the mail the other day?
What?
I got an empty envelope from my mail carrier.
From your mail carrier or from somebody that it was delivered to you?
Listen, nobody else can. It doesn't have a stamp on it.
Oh.
And my mail carrier is the only other person that can put something in my slot, right?
Yep.
If I'm lucky. I'm assuming it's for a tip.
You have the best resource that you can text in your phone. Why wouldn't you text Gordy?
I don't want to turn them out like that. I don't want to put them on the spot.
So you got an empty envelope. Nothing on it at all?
Nothing.
It was just an envelope.
I'm assuming it's for a tip for the mail carrier for the holiday season.
No, they don't do that.
I think it is.
No.
How else does a blank envelope with no postage get in my mailbox?
Maybe it was touching another one and the adhesive grabbed the envelope and then put it in there.
No.
I've never once heard, and I don't think mail carriers
Am I rude? Are you
that.
rude not to tip?
Well, I give gifts.
What do you give?
I give like little cute candy canes with a card because I have one woman that does art. Cause we live in such a small area, so it's the same woman.
I don't want to be a Scrooge, but I don't get a tip for doing my job.
Right, but I
What
think
is this
somebody that battles elements, we sit in
You
here.
took that
It is
job.
hot.
You took that job. They said, would you like this job for this amount of money? You said yes.
Yes, but that doesn't mean you have to love the 40 below weather.
I don't love
you
the
have to
40
stick
below
your-
weather. I got to come in here at 3 o'clock in the morning. Who's tipping me? I'm usually not like this, but
I'm
this
very surprised that you have a hard time with this because you're the one that is always like, oh, yeah, you should tip everybody.
That's okay. Listen, if you're a waiter or a waitress, that's a tippable job because you get paid crap. It is based on your tips. There is not a mail carrier that is strapping on a bag today that is counting on tips as part of their income to support their family. And if you are, I don't think that's right.
I am Googling the salary. If you have the exact
I
amount
think
you
civil
make,
servants make a decent living.
mail carriers make $29 per hour.
All right, what's 29 times 2080? Is that what? How many hours in? How many?
How much do people get paid to serve? How much does Reagan get per hour to work at the Mexican restaurant?
I don't know. It's probably minimum wage, but most of it's based on tips.
So she probably makes a hell of a lot more than a mailman.
Hold on,
a month or
hey
an
Siri,
hour?
how many work hours in a year? 2080. I was right. So what? How much does a mail carrier on average make?
29
times $29 an hour. That's a little over $60,000 a year before taxes.
Okay.
You
still have to deal with people's dumb dogs, dumb people.
But don't you know that?
Spiders.
Listen, it's the same as if you're a garbage man, you're going to be outside a lot of the time. You're going to deal with garbage.
This isn't New York in the 40s.
You know what?
I have warm truck.
I've never. That guy hanging off the back of the truck is not warm.
Where do you live?
There's a guy hanging off the back of my truck when they come get my garbage.
No.
Absolutely, there is. Absolutely,
That's why they
there
have
is.
that big claw.
No. They're not always so accurate with the claw in my neighborhood. There's a guy on the back of the truck.
I haven't seen that.
I'll show you.
Ages.
I'll show you tomorrow. My garbage
while
gets
you're
picked
playing
up.
stickball in the alley. I can't imagine that people hang
During
off
the
the back.
Depression, there was a guy. No, but I'm just. Am I a Scrooge? Because you know what the garbage guy doesn't do is put an envelope on the inside of my garbage can, hoping I'm going to give him a tip.
Okay.
Let me break this down for you. I've had so many people text in already saying this is absolutely not the mail carrier's doing. So there's a blank envelope in my mailbox.
Okay.
And again, we have this communal mailbox. There's maybe 20 or 30 homes in our development that share one mail space. And you got your little slot, and if it's a package bigger than that, there's a couple of big package spots on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it gets delivered to your door. There's a blank envelope in there. There's no postage. It's not like somebody just mailed me a blank envelope. And when I brought it in, Trish goes, "Did they expect a tip?" And here's the problem: is I don't ever see a mail carrier because our home isn't next to the mailboxes.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you if our mail carrier is black, white, a dog, a lady, a man. I have no idea. I've never seen them. And that takes away the personal touch a little bit. So I'm kind of like, are they looking for a tip?
I have always thought that you are supposed to leave a little something for your mail carrier.
Can they take like a gift card? If I get them like a Starbucks gift card,
I don't think they could take money, to be honest with you.
Okay, so if I can't leave them $10 cash.
I leave massive candy canes, like the thick,
right.
like sour apple ones,
Yeah.
with a little note saying thank you.
Hey, Bella, thoughts when you first heard this?
You know what? I think it's the holidays. I think we all need to be giving and think about other people. I definitely don't think JJ is going to break the bank if you get your mail carrier a $5 gift card.
I'm not saying it's going to break the bank.
Wealthy.
Well,
Man.
let me do this then, Bella. Do you listen to?
Garbage man.
Have you listened to this show more than once?
Absolutely.
Would you be willing to tip us? No. See, that's the difference. That's the difference. We provide a valuable service.
You do provide a service, but it's a little bit of a different service. I think, like, my hairdresser, I give a bigger tip around the holidays. I think my waitresses, if you have a Christmas party, you don't tip the traditional 15%. You definitely are doing that 20-25% tip.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know anything about the Kardashians if it weren't for me. Like, you wouldn't know how Courtney Cox eats her New York pizza. No, I'm just kidding. I understand. I don't expect it.
So are you telling me, Bella, though, if you found a blank envelope in your mailbox today, you would give your mail carrier what?
I really don't think it's from your mail carrier, but I do traditionally tip our, like I said, my hairdresser gets an extra tip around the holidays, the garbage man and mail carrier, like to do a little gift card, something nice, just to show your appreciation.
Yeah.
They're out in the elements doing a job for us. So
What about,
like I said.
What about like a signed picture of myself? Would that be good enough, do you think, if I just, autographed a picture of myself for them?
Well, that might be a start, JJ.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm working there. All right, thanks, Bella. Have a great morning.
I would love for your mail carrier to walk up like Sinead O'Connor and just rip that in half. Be like, what is this trash?
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.